You are listening to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene on Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM. Hopewell, Virginia. Wole, Ray, Glenn. I was going to say them homie Mo, but he ain't in the building, so Mo's out. We your hosts. It's the Washington football team post-game show. Washington fell to the Packers, the Green Bay Packers, 24-10. As you can see, we also have Josh Kirby, host of the Kirby on Sports podcast show on the show. What's good, Josh? And welcome to All Burgundy and Gold, everything with the urban sports scene.
Hey guys, appreciate you having me on. Really appreciate it. Love what you all do.
Appreciate you, my man. Appreciate you. Okay, you can find this show on Fox Sports Radio, 96.9 FM and 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia's Facebook page and also YouTube page. And you can find this show on Twitter at 1340 AM Fox Sports. It will also be on the Urban Sports Scene Twitter feed at Urban Sports Scene and on our Urban Sports Scene Facebook page. You can comment and tweet about the show there. And if you want to jump on the show, the link is included in all those outlets. But let's get right into it. The Washington football team fell to the Packers 24-10. Ray, what were your thoughts on the game, my man?
Sir, I put this on YouTube. Shout out to the Big Douglas show. I was on YouTube with him during the game, and it was the game of blown opportunities. And we already know what the theme is on this show. We're not the biggest fans of Scott Turner, but today wasn't on him. I don't know, Wole, if you disagree, because you seem like you find something to rant about in terms of Scott Turner. But I feel like he called a decent game. It's just, how do you get into the red zone that many times in the second half and come away with no points?
That's the problem.
But still, Heineke, did he not make a mistake? Should he have not dove in the end zone, ran toward the pylon? To me, that's execution. That's not on coaching.
Well, that's a little bit of everything. Like you have and Glenn will talk about it. We talked about it before. I agree with you. The game plan was perfect. The game plan was perfect. I'm not having an issue with the game plan, but it's still there's situational management, there's situational game calling, and it's 3rd and 2. You're going to go for it anyway. You threw the pass to Scary, he dropped it. So I understand that's not execution, but you're already getting. You're 3rd and 2. You don't need a touch. It's not 3rd and 2 it's not 3rd and goal. It's 3rd and 2. You can run. You already had the idea that you're going for it. Why not run the football? You're getting what you want running the football. You can even have a question mark the quarterback sneak with Heineke. Heineke hasn't been doing good with quarterback sneaks this whole season so far, but you try to rush the quarterback sneak. You can go to your back in Gibson, or you can go to your back in McKissick, or even try the young dude in Jared Patterson. I didn't have an issue with the game plan as a whole, because Glenn and I, we talked about it before, and I'll let Glenn talk about it, that this team is better suited if they run the football. When you're playing against a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, you're better suited in running the football and kind of wasting the clock. You saw in the game where the team kind of would always hike the ball with pretty much with like 7 seconds left, giving Aaron Rodgers limited time to even have the football. So the offense was on the football field longer than their defense. Speaking of the Washington football team, Glenn.
Yeah, man, definitely. That was the game plan. I think we talked about it last week, and I told you guys that's why I thought the Washington football team could win this football game, because they would be able to control the clock and run the football. They ran the football well. Heineke had 90-some yards, almost close to a 100-yard rusher, but you don't want your quarterback to be the 100-yard rusher, all right, unless you're the Baltimore Ravens. He was there. You also had, my thing was, again, play calling, 3rd and 2 situational things. I know they have a scheme, and Scott Turner likes to throw the football. But it has not been successful for this Washington football team all year long on 3rd and short yardage, and you throw the football. We're already in week 6 right now. At what point are you going to realize that on 3rd and 2, give Antonio Gibson, get McKissick, even if you're going to run, bring Patterson in for that 3rd and 2, whatever, to get 2 yards. All right, shorten the splits from the offensive line, get 2 yards. It's 2 down territory. They had the Green Bay Packers early in this game on the ropes, right? Because what happened is this: if they score in those times they were in the red zone, that put the Packers in a deficit, and you're not giving Aaron Rodgers the ball. So now they become one-dimensional. They have to throw the ball down the field, which helps you guys out, because defensive line was getting a pass rush today. It was getting up against Aaron Rodgers. But again, to me, it's simple things. We talked about Heineke not running into the pylon, running into the end zone. Well, you know what? I'm thinking about Heineke thinking, you know what he was thinking? Everybody's told me, don't get hurt, don't get hurt, don't get hurt. Be safe, don't get hurt. Well, get in the freaking end zone. That's on him. That's on him. That's not on Turner. That's on him. Understanding the situation, get into the end zone. That right there makes it a one-score game. It makes it 14-21, 13-21. Let's say they get the extra point. Now it's 14-21 with 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Exactly.
Execution.
And Josh, what were your thoughts?
Well, I mean, you all touched on a lot of what I was gonna mention, so I'll just echo on the fact, like, I mean, looking at that Taylor Heineke run that should have been a touchdown because he decided to dive and he fell short. I mean, just little stuff like that in the missed opportunities throughout the game. I'm also going to touch on the fact that Heineke, I mean, his throws, in my opinion, were looking good, but some throws he just did them incorrectly in terms of like there were a few times he threw to McLaurin, but instead of throwing a bullet, he would throw it on like a small arc. So stuff like that, the timing of the pass, the design of the pass. I mean, I don't know the correct terminology here, but I mean, stuff like that, that affected their gameplay because there are some times where Heineke needed to throw a dart and he threw it on a lob, and that made for a miscommunication and error and stuff like that. But for the most part, I think the offense played better. The defense played better. You saw them get to Aaron Rodgers multiple times throughout this football game. And it looked like a close game in this first half. But, I mean, still, the coaching, and I'll get a Ron I'll say this. Ron Rivera going for it on fourth down multiple times and failing. We just got a brand new kicker in Chris Blewett, and you're going for it on fourth down in field goal range. What does that tell you? I mean, I know that first field goal was blocked, but what is that telling you about the signing of Chris Blewett? But I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that in the open because I can't say for sure if that's what it really was, but. What's that telling you if you're going for fourth down, leaving points off the board by missing a pass in and out of the hands of Terry McLaurin?
It lets you know that the kicker pool in the NFL is very thin because this dude had not kicked in 5 years. You tell me that you couldn't find any other kicker than this guy? And I'm sorry. I know Dustin Hopkins missed you, whatever case may be. If I'm going to find a kicker, I'm going to find a kicker who has just been out of the league, in the league. I get an old guy. I call Adam Vinatieri. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
I feel you.
You know what I'm saying?
You want to prove and come out. Somebody who was proven at the time. Somebody who was once proven. I mean, I like Dan Bailey's out there. I know I had this discussion with somebody. Dan Bailey's out there. There are kickers out there who could be more effective. But it is what it is. I mean, Ray, you shaking your head?
Yeah, because it's irrelevant. I mean, at the end
no,
of the day,
no, it isn't. I mean, this is why it's not irrelevant. Because this is the point. You coach, because as a coach in anything, you coach for everything. So if you can't trust an element of everything, you overcompensate. So you're going to go for certain things when you shouldn't go for it. You know what I mean? Like, it's still points. I get what you're saying. Like, it's a kicker. It didn't impact the game. But in terms, at that point in time, that juncture of the game, it impacted the juncture of the game. You missed it. The kick was blocked because he kicked it low. That's why it was blocked. It was blocked because he kicked it low. He kicked it low. So Ron saw that. What happened? Ron saw that as a coach. Because, it is with it. People, when your players, whatever, you see that they can't handle the moment or it looks like they're going to come short, you're trying to substitute around things. So Ron saw that and he was like, yo, I don't trust this dude. I don't trust this dude. So he had to coach a different route. So when he got in field goal range, if he trusted his kicker, he would have kicked the field goal. The initial go for it, he would have kicked the field goal if he trusted his kicker. He didn't trust his kicker, therefore they went for it and didn't get it. But I'm just saying, like, it's all about momentum. You like the term momentum, right? So it's all about momentum. You went from a situation where you should have points and you don't have points.
Right, and I agree with that too. I mean, if you're gonna go away from Dustin Hopkins, right? The guy really hasn't. He missed the kicks that he's missed has been like 50 yarders.
Who, Dustin?
Yeah,
Justin. I mean, in extra points. I mean, it's hard. He's a nice guy. It's hard for me to talk about him. He's a nice guy.
He's a nice guy. I mean, I understand that. And I wasn't a big Dustin Hopkins fan. A couple years ago especially when the whole Cincinnati Bengals situation, they was over in London. Which I thought that cost the Washington football team opportunity in the playoffs. But and because that was a game that made it a tie. But I'm saying my thing is my point I just made originally. If you can go from Dustin, who's a veteran, find me another veteran.
Yeah.
That's
I'm with you.
Oh, if you can believe in this kicker, I think Josh made it. Kick the freaking field goals. That to me, he wasn't a reason. One thing, he wasn't a reason for the block. Your offensive lineman has to get the defensive lineman's hands down. And sometimes it's the placement of the hold. I'm going to have to go back and watch the kick. Where was the positioning of the hold at? So they came off low instead of coming up high. It was on its way up.
Pretty low trajectory too. That's why.
Yeah, it's pretty low. That's when it was pretty low.
Yeah.
Go Ray. So Ray, you had some. Go Ray.
No, I'm just saying 0 for 4 in the red zone won't cut it regardless. And I hear what you're saying. And momentum is critical. On the road in Green Bay, I don't disagree with you. I just feel like you had your opportunities. You can't dwell. You got to move forward. Especially when you're a team that's trying to get back to 500. You're trying to stay competitive in the standings. And they played, at least defensively, a more desperate brand of football today. I saw that. I saw a sense of urgency for the first time this season, which was dope. Because remember a few weeks back, I think it was the Atlanta game. We just didn't like the body language of the defense, but I liked it today. You keep Aaron Rodgers to 6 of 12 on third down. Like, they did their job. It's just, again, execution. To me, today is not on the coaches. It's on the players, especially offensively, that didn't execute.
You say so. All right. So you said over 4 in the red zone. Did you like 3rd and 2 and not running the ball? You like throwing the ball on 3rd and 2? You're from two.
Well, no. You know me. And we all said this. Everybody who covers this team, and even Green Bay analysts said, if you want to beat this team, run the football.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, so isn't that coaching? So I'm saying, you said execution. That's what I'm saying. In the red zone, I agree that the game plan was good, but even in the red zone, coaching in the red zone was bad. Like, if in the red zone situation was bad. Other than
so you talking that one play, but
there was more than that. You
pass,
did the quarterback sneak was terrible. Like, he hasn't look at the rest. Like, the quarterback sneak was a bad play. He hasn't done well at quarterback sneak yet.
But you worried about Antonio Gibson's ability to hold on to the football.
No,
you don't run him there, right?
But always
Jared Patterson.
No, I would be good with him.
That's what I'm asking.
I would run either all of. I've always stated in the red zone. Mm-hmm. This is not a lie. In the red zone, Gibson is good in the red zone. He gets touchdowns in the red zone. But also, so why not when it's first and goal? Look, it's in there. When it's first and goal from the 1 or 2, Gibson tends to score, and he tends to score. Yeah. So why not give him the football? My issue with Gibson, he's loose with the ball, but I'm talking about in the red zone when you need to get a yard. Okay, he's good with that. So why are you doing a quarterback sneak when that you've already seen that he's failed doing that? They've done that. They did that once, a quarterback sneak. I want to say a couple games ago, when they were in. They weren't even close to approaching like the red zone. They did a quarterback sneak and didn't get it. It doesn't work. Like, that play hasn't worked with Heineke. It doesn't. So I'm saying, like, you're right. Execution is a problem, but also play calling is a problem in the red zone. Like, it's all about making it easier. Period. There are so many things. You just said it. Like, run the football. They did the same thing. I took notes. They did 3rd and 2, and you knew it was a go. They were going to go for it on 4th down. They didn't get it.
Sure,
earlier, like after they did that, after he messed up, they did try that, and Scary dropped it and whatnot. They did another situation, 3rd and 2. They ran the football, got it, and you knew it was 2 down territory. They just ran it out of the shotgun. I'm like, if you could do that there, you can do that over there. You could have did that over there.
Yeah, so he thinks that's his best play. I mean, as a coach and as a guy who studies the game, when you're in that situation, 3rd and 2 late in the game, or 3rd and 2 at halftime, 4th and 1, you're running your best play. You're running what you think your offense, you're
that's
running what you think your offense does well. And so what he's telling you what he's telling his offensive lineman, and that he's losing the trust of his offensive lineman and his offensive line coach. He's telling those guys, I don't believe that you can give me 2 yards. I don't believe that you guys can give me 2 yards when I need it. So what are we going to do is we're going to throw the ball. Even if you run a bootleg action, right? Because everybody's set up in it for the run. You run a boot, you maybe get Heineke out. See, that thing at that point in time, you have to be able to understand we're in 2 down territory. You guys know it's 2 down territory. We have to get the first down. And Washington 3rd down situation, they're not good at 3rd down conversion.
It's terrible, man. They're terrible.
I want to ask Josh though. Josh, don't you think Scott Turner kind of did a good job of getting Heineke on the move today? Because that's where he looks the most comfortable. That's where he's most effective because he's a dual threat.
Yeah, I'll agree with that because I feel like Heineke in past games was more in the pocket, not moving around as much. I saw Heineke this game move around a lot more and make plays on his feet. I think that's one strength about Taylor Heineke that is very good for this football team because a good mobile quarterback is something you need in this league because some of the times a pocket passer not as an experienced pocket passer is not that good of a thing. So when you feel like pressure's getting to you to evade the pocket and try to make plays outside the pocket or get some chunk yards on your feet. And I'll say one thing, that touchdown pass to Terry McLaurin where it looked like Heineke was coming down, gets right back up and just fires that ball. That's another great thing Taylor Heineke is good at doing for the Washington football team. So there was a lot I liked out of Taylor Heineke today, but still some missed opportunities throughout.
A ton.
It's just crazy, man. But I mean, I liked what Taylor Heineke had for most of this game, though.
I want to say this last thing real quick, Glenn.
Go ahead.
So you outgain the Packers, you win the time of possession, 4 red zone trips, which shows you are executing to get to the red zone.
Yeah.
So to me, I feel like the coaches did their part. I'm gonna stick with that. That's my thing, because I always criticize Scott Turner, but today I feel like I can't. I just think it's a day where I'm just saying it's a road game. I know what you're saying. 0 for 4 in the red zone, that's on him.
Yeah,
and that's a great argument, and we're gonna see who takes what side, because of course many are split, but so many are just frustrated in general that of course they're gonna vent in whatever fashion. But you gotta put your feelings aside, especially your fan hat, and say, okay, did we do enough to get a win? And I feel like they should have very well at least been in a tie football game late.
Dude, I'm fair. I wrote notes, and I wrote, and my first thing, Scott Turner calling a good game. That's the first thing. You know I be hating. Scott Turner called a good game. As soon as I got to the red zone stuff, I was like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? I was honest. Like I was right. Like I was like, you're doing the calling of the game. You're real smart. Like this is really smart. You're doing everything correctly to make sure your football team stays in the football game. You keep your defense off the field. You're winning the time of possession. You're running the football. It's like you got Heineke. Like you got certain things for Heineke. He's like Heineke is playing this game. He's running the football. You did read option. Yep. Like there's so many things you were doing well. So I want to put that out there. I'm not in the thing of saying, oh, he was a bad coach. He did a bad coach the whole game. I have it like there's money times in any sport. There's money time in terms of what you call or how you play it. Yes, there were plays that were scary. I don't like putting blame on. He should have called the ball. That is for a fact. He should have called the ball. Mm-hmm. Right? That's a fact. Heineke giving himself up. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there are plays when I'm watching it, just watching it without the play even happening. Run the football, you'll get 2 yards. If your mindset, my mind is like, if you don't get it, you're probably going to go for it anyway. So the most you're going to lose, you're going to gain is a yard. It'll be 4th and 1. You'll do what you need to do on 4th down. You threw it on 3rd down and you threw it on 4th down. Yeah. To me, that bothers me. That just bothers me. It's not like it's 3rd and 5, 3rd and 5, and you're going for it. It's 3rd and 2. That bothers me. So, like, off that mindset alone is like, if you already, and I know Ron say, hey, we don't get it, we're going for it. Your mindset should be all right. This is a 4-down territory. If we don't get it, we're already about to score. If we don't get it, just run the football. We've already shown that they can't really stop our run. We can get 4 yards. You saw Gibson powering to get 5 on his own. We should be able to get 2 yards.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. 4 to 11 on 3rd down. I mean, that's the big 4 to 11 on 3rd down. Ray, you mentioned earlier in the red zone 0 for 4. If you get to 4 field goals, you only lose. It's 22-24. All right, so it's 22-24, and you at the last.
Good point.
All right, so why not in that situation go for field goals? Even if the guy, you put them, your defense is playing well. If you miss some of those within 20-yard, 30-yard field goals, you're still putting Green Bay in a deficit. All right, on their side of the field, excuse me. Uh-huh. So you got to play that game. Now it becomes a smart game. One thing the defense did this year, defense held Green Bay under 300 yards. Well, I think I got 304 yards total offense. But this is the first week. I mean, Kansas City, 500 yards of offense, total offense? Week before, 400 yards of offense. So defensively, they held a team under 400 yards of offense, which is good for them. Offensively, Scott Turner, they got 400 yards of offense. Yeah. You would think Washington would win this game. You just look at the box scores, you would say this was a winnable game, or this was a winnable game for the Washington football team. Uh-huh. They didn't execute. I'm eating crow today with you guys because we should be celebrating a W, and I should be putting the tape up. I said last week.
I want to give Ray some credit though about Scott Turner. What he did do well for this team is that he helped the defense out. I'd like to be real with you, because you're not seeing by holding the football. You're making Aaron Rodgers feel like he has to get the big play quick because he's used to scoring X amount of points or scoring quickly. So when the Washington football team offense is on the field, you're taking so much pressure off of Chase Young. You're taking pressure off of Montez Sweat, off of Jonathan Allen, who had a beast game. Now those dudes are fresher. So they rushing Aaron Rodgers. They're fresh. You know what I mean? It just goes hand in hand. You're keeping this playmaking dude, this one of the best quarterbacks to ever play this game off the football field. So then now, your defense isn't going to be punished for it. So I think in terms of having a game plan of unison, like it was a good thing that what Scott Turner did for Coach Del Rio and his defense.
Hey, defense played good today. The linebacking core, what do you guys think about the linebacking core? Because they continue to be the kind of the wild card in the team. Although
That's fine.
I think again they had opportunities and they made plays today. So this is crazy. We're talking about a loss. All these positive stats, so to speak.
And they still lost 24. And they still lost 24-10.
So now, with that being said, do you guys foresee a quarterback change coming because you're trying to I guess create a spark for your football team?
No.
Now it's not necessarily needed, but this is what happens. Sometimes coaches get fired, quarterbacks get changed because you're trying to find a spark. It might happen.
No.
Josh, what do you think?
Absolutely not. Taylor Heineke is good for what the Washington football team needs at this moment. If there is a quarterback controversy at any point down the line, and I'm not even looking at Ryan Fitzpatrick returning yet. I'm not sure when he will return. I haven't heard anything about his return. But I know there's so much that, so to speak, is putting a black cloud over Washington. And that's just not the on-the-field stuff, the off-the-field stuff too. But to throw another black cloud on this team by adding a quarterback controversy will add more drama that this team does not need right now. And I feel like, I'm not going to, I don't think it would cause more distraction, but still, Taylor Heineke is doing an adequate job for what this team needs right now. And if there are any talks about putting in Kyle Allen, picking up a new quarterback, or when Ryan Fitzpatrick comes back, whatever the scenario may be, I just think it's not going to look good. It's just going to cause more distraction, in my opinion, when Taylor Heineke is doing a pretty decent job. He's not doing the best. He's not doing the worst, but he's doing a decent job for what the Washington football team needs. It's just not on the quarterback, guys. You can't put everything just on the quarterback. It's the defense. It's the O-line, the receivers, the special teams. It's a team effort. And if you're going out saying, what about a quarterback replacement? Why do we need a quarterback replacement? Is Heineke looking that bad? And I see that comment. Yes, I think his arm strength is a little bit weak.
Can't go down the field, Josh. You can't get the ball down the field with Heineke.
I understand that, but still, not all the time you have to throw the ball deep. But I'm just saying that, who knows? It's the Washington football team. We could see a quarterback change.
Let me ask you this: was Dustin Hopkins the reason that Washington lost these past how many games they lost in a row now? No, but again, you try to find a spark, right? So it could be Heineke. I think he's going to be that sacrificial lamb coming.
See, I don't think he was. To Josh's point, I don't think, and I'm either which way with Heineke. I don't really even care, to be real with you, with Heineke. I don't think he'll be the sacrificial lamb because just to the point of, it's not one. There's too many players that like him. The people play for him. You got some of your big dogs that like him, like Scary Terry loves him. So now if you do that, are you going to kind of make Scary Terry feel a certain way? So you got your playmakers are enamored with him. Gibson loves him too because I think they both drive in together. So it's chemistry with that too. And it depends on who we talking about benching him for. We talking about Josh Allen? I don't think so. If it's Josh Allen, then I don't think so. If we're talking about if Ryan Fitzpatrick is healthy again and he's not going to, just like he's not going to be healthy in several weeks, he's still on crutches, then yes, I'm with you, Ray. I think that would happen, but not for Josh Allen. I don't think that's the move. I don't think they're going to do that. Not for Josh.
Teams know they can't go downfield. Teams know they cannot throw deep. And if they lose to Denver, Heineke's out of there. I don't care how well he plays. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you. Like I'm telling you, not with Josh Allen.
Yo,
I'm telling you, not for Josh Allen.
I don't think he's out of there because this is one. I think Wole was good and Josh was also had to add to their points. One, the fan base loves him. All right, the fan base loves him.
What?
People feed off of him. They like his energy, and
The players do, yeah.
the players
Everybody
do,
talks about his story.
and the players do. And what has he done to cause this team to lose? Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's not like just.
Really, people asking him.
But it's saying like Hopkins though. I know what Ray's saying. Hopkins the same way. I know what he's saying.
Right. What actually has Heineke done? He only threw one interception a day. Okay, I give him the one interception.
That was a big interception, Glenn.
No, it wasn't. The game was already over, Ray. Don't do that. The game was already over. That game was over, bro. Like I don't care. Like I was like game was or even when he threw it, I was like, oh,
come on, no.
Right, it was over. It was over, bro. Like real talk, it was over. I feel you, bro. It was over, dog.
Yeah, Ray, it was down by 14 already, right?
Yeah.
It was down 5 minutes, 4 minutes left.
It was third. It was third. It was third down
too.
too.
Getting the ball back after that.
Ray, I'm gonna tell you how it was, and you know, Ray, be real. Like it was third down. It was third down. He threw the pick. It was third and forever. He tried to make a play to Humphreys. I don't know why. And can I talk about that too? Why are they throwing jump balls to small receivers when you can play like a Antonio Gibson, Antonio Gandy Gold, and just put him out there for like a jump ball. We still trying to throw jump balls with small dudes. But anyway, that's third down. What they would have probably had to do is kick a field goal. Ron probably wasn't going to do that because he don't trust his kicker. So I mean, if you're saying that he took him out of kicking a field goal, then I agree.
Yeah.
But I don't think Ron was trying to kick a field goal. Like I don't think he was trying to kick a field goal. So that's why I was like, all right, he threw a pick. He was just trying to make a play.
Because they had kicked the field goal in the last possession to take it from 17 down to 14. He needed the touchdown here.
That's what I'm saying.
A field goal wasn't going to help him there, so he needed a touchdown. So my thing is today, if you want to put this one on Heineke, go ahead and put it on this one on Heineke. But you can't put the other 4 on Heineke. Now,
I don't think he's doing that though. I don't think Ray's doing that though.
I'm not saying Ray. I'm talking about the fan base. Now you the fan base can't. You can't put all these L's on Heineke. Heineke don't cover. The secondary's trash, right? Right. The secondary was trash. The defense lost the first 3.
Yeah.
Right. This, if we're really honest, this, and I say it every week, this Washington football team could potentially be 0-7.
I agree.
Should be. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Should be 0-7. Right.
Yeah.
The two wins were lucky. The Giant win was really lucky because dude jumped offside. The
Atlanta win was lucky too. Let's be real.
Yes, he said it too. That's what he said.
The Atlanta win was lucky because our defense in that game was garbage.
Garbage, right? So none of that is Heineke. So don't let him be the scapegoat. I agree with I think it's Wally's brother. Hey, fire coach. Hey, if you want to do it, Jack Del Rio, go out. Shake it up in the defensive realm. Shake it up with a coach.
You can't do that, Glenn, because last year they played well. You know what I'm saying? And he needs at least 3 years, right? That's what Rivera needs. That's where you feel like your coaching staff should get it right in that 3rd year. This is still. This is my problem. I know. I'm gonna hear you, but this is a rebuild, correct? Yo, is this
I hear.
We all agree.
I'm with you.
Year 3 of the rebuild, like in Miami right now, everybody's calling for the coach because this is year 3 of the rebuild, and they're losing games. So you can't fire the coach.
Nobody was thinking this was a rebuild coming into the season because the NFC champs. Nobody said this is nobody was saying this is a rebuild. Now because it's 2-5.
Yeah, that's excuse.
Now the excuses. Now it's 2-5.
No, this is my issue though. But this is my issue.
This is my issue. Okay. Rebuild, but you got a really good defense.
But this is the thing. All right, this is my problem with rebuilds. Like I'm cool with rebuilds. Like I'm cool with there's levels to rebuilds, and this is a rebuild. This is a rebuild. I'm not saying it's not a rebuild, but it's called improvement. Like there is an improvement in rebuilds. There are improvement from year to year. That's the thing of a rebuild. You show improvement from year 1 to year 2 to year 3. That's a rebuild. That's a real rebuild, right? Year 1, you go 7-9. Forget wins or losses. I don't even care about the wins or losses. I'll take that out the book. Year 2, are you better in elements than you were last year? If you answer that question, if you say no, then your rebuild is a little messed up. Like you're not doing your job. That's the thing. And because it's not like you lost a lot of players. Like you didn't lose a lot of players, especially on the side of the defense. So we're gonna go rebuild. We're gonna talk the term rebuild. You got your defensive players. You could probably add it because you brought Ioannidis back. You added to be real with you, right? So you're deeper. Year 2, your defense is worse. Your rebuild, that means something's going on with your coaching. That's the problem with the rebuild to me. Like, because usually, even I'll say, like, if you look at situations where even Gibbs 2.0, when he came back, you saw improvement. You did see improvement. And even in the years that he was a little slipping in his improvement in the team's record, they still played a certain way. Like they were still not missing assignments. They were getting beat maybe because the offense sucked, but their defense wasn't. They were missing assignments. They still play structural good football. You can't say this in this year to a rebuild. Like you can't say that. There's left there. I'm not even talking about record. We're talking about on the field play. That's the issue with this rebuild.
Well, if you're going to make changes in the offseason, to me, that's a bigger discussion because.
Oh, I'm not saying fire, dude. I'm not saying
no. I'm saying, for example, if the personnel decisions ultimately come down to Ron, that's a problem for me when you got Hurney and you got Mayhew. So that needs to be fixed. But on the field stuff, I hear what you guys are saying. But I'm telling you that when teams are game planning for Taylor Heineke, it's not that difficult. Not to say he doesn't put his heart out there. Not to say that he doesn't, make plays that the teammates don't love him. And again, it's the quarterback position, dude. It's not about is this guy contributing to losses. It's can we win with this dude realistically moving forward? And I think next week is his last opportunity. Well, if you want to try to save the season, so to speak, and garner some momentum down the stretch when you play most of your divisional games.
My question to you is: did you think Josh Allen's the guy? Kyle Allen should be Kyle Allen's the guy?
No,
because teams can game plan for that dude easily.
No, not at all. I'm just saying,
especially because he's not going to be as mobile because he's off the knee injury. His arm isn't anything special either.
I'm also talking about Fitz. I'm talking about you.
Okay.
Because assuming that hopefully you can get Samuel back, you got De'Ami Brown, of course, Terry, you got J.D. McKissick, one of the better pass catching backs in the league. You have some weapons.
Yeah,
and you want to be able to stretch the field, and right now they can't. That's my point.
So you saying get Cam? You saying get Cam? Is that what you're trying to say?
My only issue
that's better than the option of going to Josh Allen. I mean Kyle Allen.
Allen
because Fitz ain't gonna come back anytime soon. So we can't even put Fitz. Fitz ain't coming back anytime soon. He's still on crutches. He's still on crutches.
Only thing about Cam is he's just a polarizing figure, man. That's the only thing. You already have enough negative attention around his team. You don't want to add to that. And again, I don't agree with all the negative attention Cam receives. However, it is what it is. We can't control the narrative. Yeah. So if you're going to make a change, that's where it's going to be. Again, Dustin Hopkins was he was a sacrificial lamb. I think and Taylor Heineke is next in line.
Yeah, I think Dustin's done this dude.
Think about this. You're saying that Kyle Allen isn't the guy, right?
Yeah.
But Blewett ain't the daggone guy either.
I agree. I make the same I do the same argument too. I'm not even. Did you not see my tweet? I said that. You going to do Blewett, but you better off keeping
that's
Dustin.
My point. If you're willing to replace Hopkins with Blewett, then Kyle Allen might.
No. But you got him outside, so I'm good with that. If you're willing to replace Heineke, you better get Cam Newton because he's outside. That's my point. It's not in the building.
Okay, I agree. He knows the system. He knows the system. So
there you go.
I'll be okay with that.
Okay.
So the answer is Cam Newton. There it is.
Are we there now? Are we there? Hey, Josh, are you Cam Newton or are you still you Heineke?
No, absolutely not Cam Newton. From what I saw when he was in New England, he just didn't look like the same Cam Newton that was in Carolina with that Ron Rivera-led team before Ron Rivera eventually got fired. But
Heineke Newton.
I mean, still Cam Newton. I mean, you bring him in after so long of not playing football for the last couple of months.
They sound Blewett. They
sound Blewett. They signed Blewett, the kicker.
But we're talking about two different positions here.
I mean, kickers are important, man. I think we all like kickers are in this game. I think it shows you how important a kicker is because once he got that kick block and you saw how low it was, you could see that Ron was like, "Oh, and here we go again." And then all of a sudden, that dictated the way he was going to coach that game.
But what did he show them so he get signed in the first place?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Who did they bring in?
They brought him in twice, right? So they must have saw enough. Or he knows somebody in the organization.
Ray, I want to pull a Ray, man. I'm gonna start with Josh, man. What are some of the positives out of this game? I feel like we're getting real too negative. Hey, what's some of the positives in this game?
At 34 minutes in, we're talking positives now.
I know, right? Josh, what's some of the positives?
Obviously, some of the positives, the offensive production looked better. there weren't as many mistakes. I mean, yes, Heineke threw that one pick towards the back of the end zone. The defense applied more pressure and got to Aaron Rodgers and sacked him. That was very good. We haven't seen that in this defense in a couple of weeks, gentlemen. And to see that, that was pretty huge. They need to build off this momentum. They have Denver next week, and then they have a bye week. So who knows what this defense can do if this is the same defense we saw against Green Bay, if not better, or maybe worse. Who knows? But pressure Teddy Bridgewater, or whoever is under center for Denver. But I mean, that's the positives I see out of this game, Wale. I think obviously offensive production was better, and defense just applied more pressure.
Oh yeah, okay. So yeah, it's my brother. So I was like, yeah, Heineke is limited. Arm strength is so weak. We're saying on positives though. All right, so
yeah, he tweeted that like 20 minutes ago, man.
He did. Okay.
Oh no, Facebook. I think it's Facebook. My bad.
It's on Facebook. I'm looking at it now. But yeah, positive. Hey Ray, what's your positives?
I said I feel like Scott Turner, he utilized Heineke's main asset, which is his legs today, and that made a big difference as far as moving the football. So I like that. Of course, everything that Josh just said, I'm not going to necessarily be redundant here, but also the body language of the defense and a sense of urgency. I already said that. Finally, I feel like the guys grasped the fact that we need to win and we need to win now. I think the last couple of weeks, they feel like we're going to get it together at some point. Like it's an arrogance, not just amongst the coaching staff, but amongst the defense. Like we're that good. Like think about this. Bobby McCain and William Jackson. No, in the media, they're always angry. Like the media is wrong for criticizing them. Like what you guys say now. After the Falcons game, they was talking so much at the podium, like say something now. And it's like, dude, where you been since then? So they had this attitude, like, you know what, we got this. You know, we're that good. Now, today, what I saw was a desperate football team. I saw a desperate defense, and that's a good thing moving forward. However, can you overcome a game like this where you had so many opportunities? But you said positives, and the energy of the defense was positive today.
Glenn, what are your positives?
One of the positives is that he hit 7 different receivers today, which I thought was a good positive. He did kind of the ball around a little bit. Another positive was that well, at least he had 95 yards rushing. That's a positive for me. He used his legs to help extend plays and get Washington into good field position. Another positive for me is that that we saw that this team, well, again, same goes with what I was saying, that this team can move the football against anybody, right? They moved Kansas City last week. They moved it against Green Bay this week. They can move the football. We'll keep it polished.
Two bad defenses, but go ahead though.
It's 2 bad defenses, but you have a team that's 5-1, who most likely will be in the NFC East. Who will be most likely be an NFC Championship with a bad defense, right? With a bad defense, so they'll probably end up winning their division. And so even with a bad defense, that this team was still able to move. The offense didn't really get defensively. They didn't really get big explosive plays on them. One thing you didn't see really too many explosive plays. And then the last positive that this team did cause a turnover. So,
yeah, it's crazy. So my positives would be, it's gonna surprise you, right? It would be Scott Turner to a certain extent. I mean, I thought his play calling, his overall play calling in terms of how to manage a football game was good. I thought that was really good, to be honest with you. Made it easier for this team to stay in the football game. Defense. I thought Jonathan Allen, I mentioned him earlier, was a monster. Montez Sweat was putting constant pressure. I actually, I liked the way I liked Jamin Davis looked bad on the initial play when he missed the tackle of Mercedes Lewis. But after that, I saw him grow during the game. He was filling the lane. I think he had a good hit on a running back. He smacked the running back for real. St. Juice played well. Even though they were trying to target him, I thought he competed. I thought Landon played well as a linebacker. And people want to trash Landon all the time. But I think, because now he's playing a position that he should be successful in. I thought he played well. So I thought the defense as a whole played pretty well. If you look at it, other than Taylor Heineke, if Taylor Heineke doesn't turn the football over at that point, probably give up only 17 points instead of 24.
Yeah, crickets. Oh, the O-line played okay as well. The O-line has been consistent this
Why
season.
even with crickets though? You think that's false? That's true though, right?
No.
They
I'm just saying because we're grabbing for straws here about a
But it
team
is though.
that
The defense did play well
is
though.
on a losing streak. No, they did. I'm just saying it's unfortunate where this team is considering the talent level. I've been saying that for weeks now.
Yeah.
The talent is undeniable, and they've been healthy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Overall,
That's my
they've been
problem.
healthy, man, and it sucks.
See, that's my problem, right? You just saying it
youngsters.
for me. That's my problem. Like they're actually healthy and they're playing bad football. Like that's my problem. They're healthy and they're playing bad football. Like, and usually in a situation what happens, we talk about a rebuild or whatever. If your team is still is talented, usually what causes bad play is injuries, and this isn't injuries. This is something totally different. You know what I mean? And that's the frustrating part. And that's to me, I'm gonna label it. If you're gonna tell me it's talent, the talent is there. Then I'm always going to side on the side of, coach needs to step up. But that's neither here nor there. We talking positives. I'm trying to get back into my positive mode, and we in there. All right, so Ray mentioned it. Let's go to Denver. They're playing the Broncos next week. It's a 4:00 game. They're going to Baltimore. They're going to Denver. They're going to be on the road. How big of a game is this, Josh, for the Washington football team? And like Ray mentioned, for Taylor Heineke to have a decent game because, Ray isn't wrong. There are people out there that's chirping and say, you know what, it may be time for a change.
It's going to be a huge game. This is definitely going to have to be a must-win in my eyes for this Washington football team because after the bye week, it was a pretty tough game against Tampa Bay at home. Tom Brady, a game I will be attending. So
nice, man.
Yeah, so definitely a must-win. Defense has to be on their heels. Mistake-free football. Would like to see Taylor Heineke with no interceptions. That would be nice, but it's going to be a tough game. I know this Broncos team has not been the best recently. They were off to a hot start, but then lost 2 or 3 straight. They haven't been that hot team that they looked like at the start of this season, but the shaky Broncos, I'm not counting them out. I'm not counting them out at all. I feel like they have a chance still. So it's just going to have to come down to Washington playing mistake-free football and this defense coming together and applying pressure so that this defense can make an impact on this game next week against the Denver Broncos and hopefully come out with a win before the bye. Because a win at the bye week is going to mean all the more for this team, confidence-wise, game planning for Tampa Bay. Because going into to this Tampa Bay game, it's not going to be an easy test. 100%. I don't care what you say about how many injuries they have, whatnot. But you can't you just staying on track with Denver. You got to win. You got to play mistake-free football.
Case Keenum, he just beat this Denver team.
Glenn, he was on a better team though. Stop it. He had better coaching too. He got better coaching. Case Keenum got better coaching.
That's right.
Case Keenum got better coaching, dude. Don't do that. He got better coaching.
Disrespectful.
It's factual too. Disrespectful, but it's factual.
Disrespectful.
And it's factual.
Quarterback, so it is what it is.
Hey, so Glenn, about Denver. So what's your mindset for this football team going into Denver? What should be their mindset going into Denver?
Run the football.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
again,
every week.
I know it's every week. So when you ask me every week, I'm gonna say run football. Run football and build up on what you did well in this game. They did well here. They kept possession of the football. I do want to give this defense some credit too because they did let Green Bay get into the red zone 4 times. They only came away with 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
So this defense was good there. Bend no break, which they did well last year as well. If you look at their run last year, teams were getting the red zone with
they stop them.
And they would stop them. They would score touchdowns. So you have to do that in Denver. And also, if I'm Ron Rivera, I get my guys out there a little bit early so they get adjusted to the mile high of air and everything like that. I mean, it's real though. It is. It's real. So I
have a friend in Denver. He told me about that. He told me how real that was. So this team again. I'm picking them to win next week. I think. Actually, I'm with that one. This one I'm actually with. I'm with that one.
I'm actually with. I think they need a bye. And with Josh, they need a win before the bye week. Right? They need a good solid win for the bye week before and try to get ready for Tampa Bay as they come into town. And the guys need to get away from football for a minute and rest and relax. So, and also coaches need to go ahead and figure out what they can do, with Tom Brady coming in, because it won't be like the playoff game from last year.
If they lose, I'm going to Top Golf. I'm inviting Chase Young, and we're gonna have a good time, bro. Because at that point, you're gonna be preparing for next season at 2-6. I'm telling you, this is the season right here, my friend.
You talking about at that?
The Denver game.
At this point,
it's the season.
At that point. I'm not even thinking about playoffs. I'm not even thinking about playoffs. I already know what you're talking about. Season already over. My mindset.
Yeah, this is not a playoff game.
It's not over yet.
Oh, see, this is how we differ. See, this is how we differ. Like my season was over a while ago, so like I don't even know where you're coming from with that one. You lost it with that one, buddy. I was like, I can tell by how I look at what I see on the field. I wasn't even thinking about, bro. Like
a playoff team, no. And they're not catching and I'm not a big Cowboys. They're not catching the Cowboys.
Yeah, like that means they have to get one of the wild card spots. I don't know what you talking about.
Okay, but they can catch Minnesota.
But that sounds they're not. No, I'm not even doing that. Look, bro. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna go into Denver though. What I will talk about this Denver game playoffs. This Denver game compared to like they just gotta look at as a defense. They gotta look at what they've done the last 2 weeks. They played better compared to what we've seen prior to that. So I think the moves they did make have helped. Like moving Landon Collins out of safety has helped. So you put him down closer to the box. Having Cam Curl and McCain back there is easier. Hopefully you'll get William Jackson back. You saw Danny Johnson play a little bit. He got caught up there in coverage with Aaron Rodgers. You're playing again. You're going from Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes to Teddy Bridgewater. I like Teddy, no knock on Teddy, but it's a different level, right? And then even with that, if you look at what Denver brings to the table in terms of wide receivers, they've lost their main weapons in TJ Hamlin and also Jerry Jeudy. They're both out, so you're not going to go against them. So you're in terms of the weapons that the Denver Broncos possess. They have a good running game, but again, Washington. If you look at Washington, they've pretty much done well against the run, and they have a beast tight end in Fant out of so in terms of they got to probably scheme up against the tight end. Sutton's okay, but it's nothing that again is something that they don't have to scheme up heavily against. So I just think that in this matchup there are some favorable matchups compared to what they went against with going against a Devontae Adams or going against the Kansas City Chiefs in that speed. If you told me a healthy Broncos team, I would be real scared. Because then you're going against so many playmakers. They have so many playmakers when healthy, but they're a little banged up. So I think this is a game they can definitely compete against. Ray, I'm honest, bro. You can say, I'm honest. I keep it a buck when it comes to this team and who they can beat or who they can't beat. So you can say, have you watched Denver play, bro?
I have. I watched them play last week. Hold up. Let me talk real quick. It's not about Denver, though. It's about everything you're saying about your own team, bro. Defense, do you think that Denver's not looking at this game as a winnable game?
No, they should be. They should. But are you? Okay, so answer this question.
That's my point.
No, answer this question. So I'm done. Answer this question. Is this defense playing better over the last 2 weeks? Compared to what they did?
I'll give you this past week.
Last week they played better too, because the first half against Kansas City, they didn't play better.
The first half against Kansas City.
Okay,
hold on.
No, I'm not done.
Let's rewind the tape because it was unforced errors and Patrick Mahomes did
No, I agree. I said better. I've always said it was the best. I said that it was the best game they played. I was honest. I said it's the best game they've played throughout. If you want to use that game as a mark of improvement, it's better than the other games they played. I've stated that.
The bar ain't that high.
I'm just telling you improvements. All I care. This is what I'm saying. You're not even listening to I'm saying improvement. I'm saying the last 2 games, this is the best they played. If you look at this and they play against better quarterback play, these 2 quarterbacks have been better than any quarterbacks they played prior. These 2 quarterbacks are better, and they look bad, but these 2 quarterbacks they played against in Rodgers and Mahomes are better than the dudes they played against.
Okay, so what did you tell me though? You said if your quarterback wants to get right, Jameis, Matt Ryan,
I said that, but
they need to play
this one. Not this team I saw today. Not against the team I saw today. Not this defense. The defense prior, because this team they were in there. Did you see any real confusion in secondary? Not really. It's Aaron Rodgers making a play and making people move. That's about it. But everybody was in their spot because now you got the people who are making mistakes. They're not playing in those positions anymore. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying, like, if what they have set up, like, basically, be honest with you, Landon Collins was confused in everything. So now he's in the box. So you take that away. Now you got guys who just cover. You got Cam Curl back in his natural position. You got McCain. You got McCain back playing free. So now, real talk, everybody's in their position. So I'm just telling you, it's a difference when these guys are now lined up correctly. So it's not going to be as easy. My issue with the Denver Bronco game is plain and simple. Their defense is stout. Like, Denver got some dudes on defense. So keep it a buck. Like, can Washington's offense do enough to even do anything with Denver defense? That's it. But you talking about that, but it's nothing to do with Denver's offense. I'm gonna keep that one. Like, Denver's offense won't be the scary factor.
It comes down to whose offense has the better day, right?
That's it.
That's what we're saying.
That's it.
And you guys are all in on Heineke still, which is that's what's up.
I'm not all in on Heineke. Don't do that to me. I said Heineke's better than Kyle Allen.
No, Glenn and Josh are all in on Heineke.
No, I'm not.
I said Heineke's better than Kyle Allen. That's all I'm saying. I'm telling you, give me Cam and I'm good. You already know where I stand. Give me Cam and I'm good.
And I'm saying he's the best option right now in the Washington organization.
Yeah,
wait. If Fitzpatrick is healthy, you still think he is if Fitzpatrick is healthy?
Yes.
Okay, see, I don't agree with that. See, I don't agree with that. See, that I don't agree with.
I'm gonna tell you why I agree with that. If you look at Fitzpatrick's history, Fitzpatrick will only give you 6 good games.
Hey, man, he wins though. He can win you some games though. Hey, it's better than what's Heineke's record right now as a starter? Is what 2-6.
If you
look, man, 2-5. Are they 2-6 right now? It's 2-5.
No, he started the Tampa game too. He started.
It's right here, 2-6. All right, yeah. I'm look, man. Look, I'm not knocking Heineke. Huh?
Fitz can give you 2-6.
I'm telling you, Fitz can get you that, man. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go with Fitz on that one. I like Fitz's swag, so I'm cool with Fitz. I love his swag.
I'm not gonna make my prediction yet, but I'm just saying I felt like there was a confidence brewing about this Broncos game. You know what I mean? I just want to temper expectations. Like, hold up,
I'm not confident. I said they have a good chance. I have a chance of winning that game.
That sounds confident to me.
No, it's like it's confident. It's real. I mean, I've been factual to all the games I told you about that they would be in, and I've been right. Be real, I've been right. Keep it a buck.
It's not that hard to be right this season about this.
Dude, like, dog, you make it sound like I've been like, no, I have no, bro. You make it sound like you seem real confident. When I've been confident about the same certain games, and I've been pretty good. So that's all I'm saying.
Because you picked them to beat the Saints.
I did, and they were in it,
but they lost. But
I said they were in it.
So don't try to hype yourself like
no, I'm right. No. You making it sound like I am right. They were in it, right? They were in it. I told you they have a good chance of winning that game.
The Saints had no weapons except for Kamara.
But you make it sound like you shouldn't be real confident. You know what? Let me say it this way: the Broncos are Saint-ish, so they'll be in the game, Ray. They will be it'll be all in the game. Does that sound better?
I'm not denying that at all.
Thank you. That's the point. They'll be there. The Broncos are Giants, Saints, Atlanta-ish. That's what the Broncos are right now. That's what they are right now. So they will be in the game.
Let's go back to Glenn's point. What did Glenn say at the start of the show? They could be 0-7.
You're damn right they can go 0-7. look, but they can win this game too.
Man.
You know what I mean? This ain't no juggernaut.
One time's covering the Washington football team. So we'll see what happens this week. We'll see what emails come out and what stories leak because it's never going to be just about football anyway. And I think that's a problem. The players are probably looking forward to the bye week. I hope that they take this game serious because they're like, we're just tired of the atmosphere right now around this organization. It's true. The environment is not a healthy one. And it hasn't been for a while, but we thought that the culture was changing. However, what seemed to be a passing storm is now a present tsunami for this team because we don't know what else is coming out. And now the feds getting involved. So
you talking about some other stuff. I ain't talking
about
that
I'm
stuff.
just saying. I'm just talking about the mental state. And right now the defense, like you said, 2 weeks in a row, improvements.
Yeah, defensive line. The defensive line definitely.
I want to see that urgency. Yeah, you pressure Teddy. I think Washington gets a W as well. I'm just saying I'm not ready to anoint him just yet.
Nobody's anointing Washington. Who's anointing Washington? Nobody's anointing this team.
For this game.
Oh, I'm about to say who's anointing Washington?
Glenn already made a prediction, right?
Glenn already made a prediction. He said Washington could beat Green Bay last week. Look.
I know, and
There's
I
nobody.
wanted
No,
whatever,
ain't nobody.
and I was trying to get a hit or whatever he was smoking. So
If we didn't go 0 for 4 in the red zone, it would be
Look,
a
man,
different
if they are who they
Real
are.
T said it. If my aunt had blank, she would be my uncle. So, yo,
Hey, Josh, I want your prediction, Josh. Give me a prediction for the Broncos game, man. I got to get away from Ray.
I have the Broncos 17, Washington 14.
See, look, I'm losing. See, nobody.
That's the end
That's
of
a real.
Heineke. The feel-good story. Our friend Terry's friend. They ride into work together. They commute together.
They in
the HOV lanes together.
Gibson and Heineke ride in together. I said Terry. That's his boy. So that's his homie.
They love him. So, but
look,
hey,
I'm telling you, they'll probably still play. I mean, look, Ron is very loyal to a fault. So he will play. Ray, that's what you want, right? You put yourself.
It's not what I want.
Wear the hat of Ron Rivera, dude. Like, wear the hat of Ron Rivera.
No,
what do you think Ron's going to do?
I don't want to. I called.
What do you think Ron's going to do, Ray?
First of all, I called for Heineke before all y'all. Like,
yeah, I know, but Ray, I know you're there.
I'm not a Heineke hater. I'm just saying. It's like the stock market.
It's crashing down. I agree with you, Ray.
He was up, and now
he's going down. But Ray, what do you think Ron's going to do? Do you think Ron is going to? Do you think Ron will bench Heineke? Not what you would do, but do you think Ron would do?
Blew it. At this point, your kicker, you have a kicker that was working, and where was he working? FedEx, UPS, where was he? Amazon?
UPS warehouse.
Alexander.
Exactly. That
Bruh,
man.
I know.
That means you never know what this team is going to do.
Real talk. The only reason why, let's be real. The only reason why, like, I'm with you. Like, Hopkins was like a scapegoat. It is what it is. But also, like, dude, you missed like 100 extra points. That was going to happen eventually. Like,
he missed 2 this season.
2, and then missed another one. And the Giants, when he missed, they gave him a second chance. Like, he would probably get cut that day. Like, he would have got cut that day. Heineke's had games where people were like, oh, man, he's had a couple games where you were impressed with. Like, he has highlighted games. The Atlanta game is a highlighted game. The Giants game, even though he effed up, is a highlighted game. He has highlighted games, bro. Like, I'm just being real. He has games where you can say, oh, you played well. Heineke just gives you just enough where you'll say, it's not his fault. Hopkins will give you just enough where it was like, oh, you gotta make that. Like, it's too easy. And that's the difference between a kicker and a quarterback. Like, I'm with you, Ray. Like, he got the short end of the stick. I'm with you. But it's a difference, though. Because when the kicks, dude, you heard how many times we do the show and we be like, oh, man, Hopkins missed another one. You tweeted me one time. When I tweeted, like, it looked like he fixed it, and you tweeted me back, was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's just certain things where it goes like, bruh, you missing. And then it's not even a 1-season thing. It's a 2-season thing. Yeah. You get what I'm saying, bro? Like, it's not even a 1-season. It's a 2-season thing. Heineke's in a situation where he's still relatively still fresh. He's still fresh.
I disagree because it's the timing. Why now?
Did he just sign a 2-year, $4 million contract?
Huh?
Heineke had a 2-year, $4 million contract.
Yeah, he got some money too with that.
Yeah, so
some money.
So he's into the money too.
I'm just saying, like, I don't think he getting not for Josh. Josh Allen just coming up. I mean, keep calling him Josh Allen. I'm sorry, the real Josh Allen. I'm insulting you. Kyle Allen is coming off a knee injury. Yeah, he ain't even that good.
We're talking about another week and a bye, so we'll see. But anyway,
now with Kyle,
Josh has picked the Broncos. I'm leaning that way. But,
yeah, I know you Broncos.
By Tuesday it could change. So we'll see.
I'm leaning towards cause I'm happy with I love competition. I love when people compete, and I love like the defense competed. I'm proud of them for competing because the offense really didn't give them anything to really compete happy for, and they really competed. So. I think they'll win. I think they'll win against the Broncos. I'll pick that one. That one out.
If Ron feels like he's still trying to make it to the playoffs, which is still the goal that should be for this team, then he probably won't replace Heineke. I'll say that much.
We talked about that last week. He's not. He's making excuses that this team shouldn't win 7-9. So when you have your coach making excuses already, we got your coach making excuses already. They're not going to the playoffs.
He's not. They're not. All right. So, but Josh, before we end this show, man, can you tell our listeners about your podcast and how they can catch you on social media, my man?
Oh, I appreciate that, guys. So I run the Kirby on Sports podcast. You can find all of my work on www.kirbyonsports.com, and you can find me on all social media platforms at by Josh Kirby, at Kirby on Sports, on Instagram at Kirby on Sports Podcast. We're on Facebook everywhere, and you can catch us on all streaming platforms pretty much. Been very busy trying to grind, work on my craft, and do what I can do with this podcast, and we're having fun doing it. So I appreciate you all having me on.
Josh, thanks for being on. Appreciate you. Josh doing big things. Josh even has a podcast with Clinton Portis as a guest. So Josh is,
Episode 50.
I know. I remember Josh. I don't forget.
hey, real one's right there, Wole.
There you go, bro. There you go. Hey, anyway, man, appreciate everybody for listening to the show. Sorry for the Washington football team not, giving you all a W, but it is what it is. It happens, man. Be like me. Worry about competition, man. Just hope the team competes. Anyway, thank you all for listening. You've been listening to the Urban Sports, saying for Aegis, you dig? Deuces. Stay blessed.